just about set for softball here in Portland. There's another Bruin there in the 4 spot in Delaney Wiz, as well as Bubba Nichols Camarena. Ton of power for this Oklahoma City lineup. They lead the league with 13 home runs through just 6 games, but they're trying to get right. They've lost 2 in a row after their last road trip to Chicago. Look at this setting. Hillsboro Ballpark ready for the AUSL. Sam Landry, the first pitch in their home history is a ball outside. This is a great matchup to start things off. Sam Landry, the Oklahoma star, that's where she finished her college career, now a second-year pro. When these two teams went to work on building their rosters from scratch, Maya Brady was the #1 pick in the expansion draft. So the first player that was a member of OKC is at the batter's box. The first player that Portland drafted is in the circle in Sam Landry.
Are you going to go hitter or are you going to go pitcher? And what's funny is that set the tone for the seasons that both of these teams are having so far, because the Spark have been all about offense, with Maya Brady setting the tone, and then the Cascade have been all about pitching.
Brady into left field. That's a gapper, and it's extra bases for Brady on the first at-bat of the game.
She has just been so special to start this season. Extra base hit after extra base hit, her athleticism and the way that she has come into this 2026 season so locked in. She gets herself a screwball that just does not get out enough, and she stays on it, hits it hard to the left side. 80 miles an hour exit velocity off of her bat.
Strike 1 from Sam Landry. Now it's Sydney Romero, the shortstop for Oklahoma City. Got off to a little bit of a slow start in the opening series, but is currently on a 3-game multi-hit streak after their trip to Chicago. They won the opener in Rosemont by run rule fashion and then got beat in the next 2 games, once by the run rule and once on a walk-off home run for Mary Jacopo.
I would have to imagine that every Cascade player has so many nerves, and the Spark is probably feeling it too. You know, the visiting team coming in here in front of a big crowd, but the Cascade, to wear that Portland Cascade jersey and play in front of this crowd with the anticipation going on, and I think that you're seeing some early nerves right out the gate from Sam Landry as Sid Stewart gets hit by a foul ball there, but they have been waiting for months and thinking about this home opener. This team, of all the 6, have had the biggest support. I mean, from all across the city, the softball fans, the sporting fans, the city itself. I think there's been a lot of hype around Portland coming in for this exact moment.
First time these 2 expansion teams have ever met. Hard hit ground ball is bobbled by Kenley Cahalan, and Romero is aboard on the air.
Should have been an out here. Cahalan maybe getting ahead of herself, looking at Brady, looking her back to second base. And that right there shows you the respect of Brady's athleticism. Cahalan understanding her athleticism and speed, wanting to make sure that she committed back to second base. So she was looking her back before she had possession of the ball, ends up leading to an error and 2 on for the Spark.
Mentioned 2 straight losses for the Spark. They are playing the hottest team in the AUSL in the Cascade, who have won 4 in a row after dropping their first 2 games of the season. And there were some question marks there. The pitching kind of struggled in the opening 2 games, and the bats weren't necessarily there either. But they exploded on both sides in Game 3 to beat the Blaze and haven't lost since. Up and in to Cheryl for ball 2.
Well, bunt situation here, or you could have her swing away. She has a big gap out in right center field right now. Kendra Falby, the center fielder, is shading more toward left center, anticipating something more toward the left side off of Cheryl, the lefty's bat.
2-1 tries to wait on that pitch and fouls it away.
This Spark team, when we talk about their offense, we're talking about a team that hits for average and hits for home runs. They lead the league in home runs, and Sydney Cheryl is one of those home run hitters.
Takes up and in, full count for Landry here. Tough spot in the first inning already.
I really think nerves is a big part in this kind of slow start that you're seeing from Landry.
In there, strike three.
I want to try to get this crowd into it early. And, you know, the crowd always loves a home run and a strikeout, especially a strikeout with 2 runners on base. Landry goes to her drop ball, sneaks it into the inside corner to get Cheryl looking. That is a big-time pitch and a huge out for this Cascade defense.
That makes way for the AUSL's home run leader currently in Delaney Wiz. She's got 4 of them, hit 2 in the opening game of the Chicago series. 3 overall in that series for Delaney Wiz. Chases for strike 1.
Like guessing a little bit there on that rise ball, helping Landry out. That easily could have been a 2-0 count, hitter's count for the home run hitter in Wiz, but gets her chasing that pitch to get back in it.
2-1. We talked about the tremendous support in Portland for women's professional sports, not just talk. You can see it in the numbers. The Fire and the WNBA in their first year back in Portland have one of the highest average attendances in the league. And then Portland Thorns FC in the NWSL led the league last year with 18,173 per game. These are all the pro sports teams in the Portland area, including the Timbers and the Trailblazers. Popped up off the bat of Wiz. Playable for Stewart, dancing around the umpire, and it's going to be Kennedy Powell at third base making the catch.
Look at Sam Landry making these pitches, working through her nerves to start out the home opener and being able to get back-to-back outs to sit Cheryl and Delaney Wiz. There was a changeup that she threw the pitch before the out pitch that set up the rise ball to get Wiz out. That is a massive, easy out where the runners can't advance.
First pitch outside, ball 1. This is another dangerous UCLA Bruin in Bubba Nichols-Camarena, a longtime vet, an Olympian. Was on the national championship team that beat Oklahoma back in 2019. It jumps ahead in the count, 2-0. Lets that go, 3-0.
A couple of close pitches to start this at bat to Nichols-Camarena, where Landry did not get the call with a changeup and then a drop, having to come closer onto the plate here to get back into the count.
Good location from Landry for strike 1. Three-1 to Bubba. Driven to left field, tailing a little bit, and it is foul.
Woo. This is a team that leads the league in home runs, and the Cascade side, their pitching has only given up 1 home run in 36 innings pitched, so they have been stingy when it has come to the long ball.
Can Landry get out of it in a 3-2 count? Another foul ball from Bubba. We welcome those of you who just watched the Talons defeat the Volts in Round Rock, Texas by a score of 4-3. We are in Hillsboro, Oregon, about 10 minutes outside of Portland, the home of the Cascade. It is now bases loaded with 2 away here in this first inning. It's the league's best pitching staff by ERA versus the most electric offense in the league, the Spark. We've got a couple connections to the area, and one of them is at the plate right now, and Amari Harper, who finished her college career about 2 hours south of here in Eugene at Oregon. And she takes strike 1.
Even if the Spark don't score here, I mean, it would be kind of a letdown for them because they're loading the bases. They got the first 2 hitters on board with a double and then an error made by Kenley Cahalan, the shortstop. But making Sam Landry throw this many pitches is already a win in itself in this game. Last weekend when the Cascade played the Talons, they had exceptional starts from Sam Landry, Kelly Maxwell, and Kenzie Brown, a 3-headed starting pitching monster for the Cascade that just pitched tremendous. So being able to see this many pitches against Sam Landry early in the game is already a win in itself. But if you're the Spark, you want runs on the board after getting the first 2 on in this inning.
In that Talon series, Brown and Landry both threw complete games in their starts. Maxwell went 6 2/3 in her win. 6 1/3, I should say. 1-2. Outside, ball 2. Landry was the tone setter in the Talon sweep, which was a shocking result because the Talons, the reigning champs, they started the year 3-0. Trying to set the tone here and strand the bases loaded. Hard hit ground ball scooped up by Sis Bates. And Sam Landry dances out of a bases loaded jam. And the inaugural home opener. He on the base paths in the top of the first, and now they will take the bats for the first time in their new home. Megan Grant is in the 2 spot behind Corby Otis with Tori Vidalis, who might have the most important job on this team in the 3-hole, protecting Megan Grant and making sure she gets good pitches. It's a lineup that has not produced a ton early on, but one that certainly has potential. This woman has more than potential. Maya Johnson, the rookie out of Belmont, not just going to get the ball in game 1. She is also the projected game 3 starter and has been really impressive early in her career.
Yeah, this is her 5th appearance in the 7 games that the Spark have already had this season. They've relied on her a lot. Just a rookie, played at Belmont, was absolutely ecstatic that she got a golden ticket in the middle of her spring season. That meant that she was going to get drafted, and she didn't know quite where. But for her and the career that she had at Belmont, she had a desire, a goal to be able to get drafted to play for the AUSL, and she got it, and she has made the most of it so far.
Complete game on opening day in their win over the Volts. We saw her go 4 innings and allow just 1 hit and strike out 4, no runs in their game 1 win over the Bandits that went just 5 innings. She also threw the majority of game 3, but lost that game on a walk-off, gave up 2 home runs in the final frame. And she is right back to work tonight. It's a 3-1 count to Corby Otis. 2nd-year pro out of Florida. Takes strike 2. Corby thought she might be on.
And Maya Johnson coming from the left-hand side, going to throw with good velocity in the upper 60s. She can really throw a little bit of everything. She can lean on her drop if she needs to. She can lean on her rise if and when she needs to. Screw, curve, her changeup has been fantastic so far as a pro.
There it is. Speed, Otis up the middle. Corby Otis aboard the first hit for the Cascade here in Portland.
Sitting on the changeup and driving it right back up the middle, getting on board for Megan Grant.
Megan Grant, the single season home run queen in college softball. 42 of them this year. An unbelievable senior season, helping UCLA go back to the Women's College World Series. The number 3 pick in the college draft versus the number 4 pick. Ground ball right side. Scooped up by Lee. She makes a nice play to get the lead runner for out number 1. That's a big win for the Spark early on to retire Grant. Or not to retire her, but on the fielder's choice.
And to see her put the ball on the ground. Maya Johnson going to her drop ball, a pitch that Megan Grant really likes to swing at and elevate, but being able to get her on top of a drop ball for the force out.
And on just a couple pitches as well, as Johnson delivers strike 1 to Tori Vidalis. Tori, a longtime veteran on this young team whose average pro years of experience is about 2.68. Tori's been doing it for 7 now. Long run into foul territory for KK Madry, and it's down for strike 2.
Yeah, I think Tori Vidalis is going to be a big part of the Cascade's success this year. Being able to have a veteran hit behind the rookie with the home run power and Megan Grant. This is an important spot as KK Madry hustled over for that ball, but Tori Vidalis is an absolute key for their offense. Hitting just over 100, a little bit of a slow start, but you know that she's the type of veteran that gets better as the season goes on. She was her best in the championship series when she played for the Talons last year and won a championship with them.
Clutch game-tying home run in that championship run that they made. As a matter of fact, the 2 biggest swings for the Talons are from players who are on the field now for these expansion teams. Tori Vidalis at the plate and Sydney Romero, the shortstop for Oklahoma City, had their game-winning hit in game 2 of that. Both of Tori's hits this year are doubles. Ground ball this time, backs up Romero, kind of spun quickly off the turf and got her in the chest. So each team now in the first inning with an error.
Each shortstop with an error. Playing off of this turf, which the Spark were just in Chicago and Rosemont playing on a turf field there as well. But that last hop kind of took off after it hit the ground and went right into what looked like the chest or the collarbone of Sid Romero there at short.
Here is another very talented rookie, Sydney Stewart, swinging first pitch. Grant tried to do everything she could to distract Romero, but there's 2 outs. Now Maya Johnson trying to follow Sam Landry's lead and strand some runners on the base paths as Sierra Sacco Ferry takes strike 1. She also played for the Talons last year, had a great rookie season after she was a first-team All-American as a senior at Mississippi State.
This comes to a span in the Cascade lineup where there are 5 left-handed hitters in a row. There are 6 left-handed hitters at the Cascade start tonight, 3 righties.
3 of the top 4 in their order, all right-handed. That's Otis, Vidalis, and Stewart. What do you like about Maya Johnson against the lefties with what you know about her arsenal?
I like her ability to spin her curveball away from them like that. It's a really good pitch located just on the outside corner. Not going to get the call, but she just has a really good spin on that pitch. And I like her changeup too to them. There was a changeup in this at bat. To me, should have been a called strike. She didn't get the call. That's a good looking pitch for the lefties.
Ground ball right side, Lee steps on first. Zeros after 1 here in Oregon. OKC gets the bats next. Full facility, beautiful night for some professional softball to make its debut. We are also live on ESPN Deportes right now. There is Jose Francisco Rivera and Ruby Rojas. A number of games being held on Deportes this year. Love seeing them in the booth, and what a cool opportunity too for professional softball to broaden its horizons even more.
It speaks to our growth. I don't even think that we have that in the college game, this opportunity to have a Spanish-speaking broadcast. I was watching the first one a couple of days ago that we had, and I was locked in. Just so cool listening to them. Absolutely love it for our game.
Well, in the league, we have a handful of Team Mexico players from the 2020 Olympics. Tori Vidalis is one of them, Sydney Romero as well. 2-1 pitch now from Landry. She is facing Jessie Warren. 7-8-9 to face Landry after she stranded the bases loaded in the first inning. The right side, Vidalis scoops it up and steps on first.
And Sam Landry's going to force a lot of ground balls. She has a high ground ball rate when she's in the circle at about 60%, which is a high number and something that you like to see against a home run hitting team, keeping the ball down in the zone with her drop ball. That's going to be her most used pitch. Got Jessie Warren rolling over that drop ball for that first out.
Now Haley Lee at the plate. She takes that ball up and in from Landry. She's reached at least 2 times in 2 consecutive games. 1-0 outside. Can you feel it? Have you been in the moment with Sam Landry right now? You talked about the nerves a little in the first inning, and now as a pitcher, can you see that she's settled in already?
I think she started to settle in that first inning after the first couple of hitters. I really do. And falling behind 3-0 here, but just mixing her pitches, and talked about her drop ball, but she'll be able to work up with her rise ball, and then she has that changeup too. So really nice mix with her drop, rise, changeup, and she'll work in a screwball, which moves inside to these right-handed hitters. Like that. That's a screwball right there in the knees and just does not get the call.
She was asking, where is that? But Lee is on with a 1-out walk.
Always hard to tell because our center field camera is a little bit at an angle, but it's a pitch I think she thought she was going to get a called strike. Haley Lee all the way back in that box too, maybe thinking that she clipped the front of the corner or front corner of the plate.
KK Madry shows bunt and takes strike 1. Madry, one of the players signed out of the reserve athlete pool. There's a couple missing for Oklahoma City right now. Kinsey Hansen-McKenzie, who is on the temporary inactive list, pregnant with her first child, expecting with her husband Kobe. And then Sydney McKinney, who is playing in Japan right now. KK Madry and Grace Jenkins are the 2 reserve athletes replacing their hitters. 0-2 from Landry, takes upstairs.
That is it. Great take by Madry. You could tell she was looking down too, almost like surprised to see Landry going up in the zone with her rise balls. So it's a nice, easy take because you can tell she's looking for something down.
That catches the top of the zone. Strike 3 for Landry, number 2 on the day.
Not sure if she meant to throw this drop ball more up in the zone, but it absolutely worked. This is a drop ball that just elevates up and she holds on to, and it moves across the plate. You see how Sydney Stewart even reacted going across her body and how high that was up in the zone. But hey, it works for her second looking strikeout.
First pitch swinging, Landry calls it and fires it to first to retire Maya Brady. Much cleaner second inning for Sam Landry in the Cascade on defense.
Like our first time being able to see pro softball in like real life, and it's been such a fun time. We were here in Utah and we watched all 3 games, and I'm here for Sam and
I'm here for Paige, but Paige was there in Utah, but she's not here in Oregon, but it's still the same. I'm honestly here for Sam as well, so.
Amazing, thank you guys. We've got some big Sam Landry fans, Chucky.
That's right, everybody's a Sam Landry fan. We find him everywhere.
Sam Landry is definitely one of the fan favorites from her senior year at Oklahoma. I feel like she captured the hearts of a lot of fans from all over the country, and it's carrying into the AUSL.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. Man, dedicated fans, too. And a dedicated dad driving around from Utah to Oregon. How long is that trip?
It's a long time. My geography mastermind says it's a long time. Feels
the
like
beautiful
it would be.
Places, too. In the mountains with Utah and then mountains here.
Kennedy Powell fouls this away and falls behind 1-2. So Sam Landry settled in the second inning. A couple base runners that Maya Johnson had to deal with in the first, but she stranded a pair. Trying to slap this into left field. Kennedy Powell, a product out of Texas A&M, one of their best bats this year. Had a career year as a senior, spent 3 years there in total, but hit .407 with 81 hits for the Aggies this season. 1-2 from Johnson.
And she really elevated her game as a senior, both offensively and then defensively over at third base, and earned a spot to then become a pro. Picked up as a provisional pick and then getting to be on this roster as an everyday starter.
Swings through it. Maya Johnson has strikeout number 1.
One again to that drop ball. Both the pitchers that we have working in this game leaning a lot on their drop balls.
Down to the 8 hole, it is Sis Bates who takes ball 1 outside. Sis, another one familiar with this part of the country, at least the Pacific Northwest. She's from California, but played her college ball in Seattle at Washington. Takes strike 1 right here, another longtime pro. Couple of the things that we thought when we saw this Cascade team is we knew they'd have great pitching, and we knew they'd have great chemistry because of some of the leaders on this team. And one of them was Sis Bates. And Jamie Loprise raved about Sis as she pokes one to right center. Not known for her power, but that'll do. And it's going to be a ground rule double and likely will save a run for the time being because Kenley Cahalan was moving.
You said it, Sis Bates, not known for her power. In fact, she has no extra base hits to this point in the year, and it's still early, but look how shallow the outfield is playing. Madry playing really close to the infield, and she just burns them. Sis Bates showing off her power here for the home crowd, keeping her feet still, swinging away, and now Cascade have 2 runners in scoring position.
This is hit in the left field. This is going to be the first run in their inaugural home opener. Delivered by Kendra Falby.
Kendra Falby now has the most hits on the team coming from the 9 hole, and she keeps her feet still too. No more for a slapper. She can lay down a bunt, but with 2 runners in scoring position, this is something that she worked on later in her career at Florida. So a second-year pro here in the AUSL, and Kendra Falby understanding it's a runner in scoring position situation, so she keeps her feet still and drives the ball hard to the left side for an RBI.
There's one thing the Portland fans could help Kendra Falby with. When she was at Florida, we talked to her ahead of a series at LSU, and she had a tradition when she was there that before every game, before a series, when she would go on the road, she would go eat at Carrabba's, and she would go alone. And so they started to know her at the restaurant. She would come in, they'd say, oh, here comes Kendra Falby. So the folks in Portland, they got to help her find a spot to make a tradition of. Back to the top of the order. Corby Otis, runners on the corners, and just 1 out. Otis swinging first pitch. Brady backing up. That's going to one-hop the wall, and it will leave the yard as well. 2 ground rule doubles in this inning as Portland is starting to see Maya Johnson.
Look at these adjustments that these Cascade hitters are making in this second inning early against Maya Johnson. Swinging early in the count, too, is Sis Bates. Swinging early as well as Kendra Falby. Corby Otis hit that ball hard. 72 miles an hour off the bat. Maya Brady was playing pretty shallow there, too. But with the turf, it's going to lead a lot to those extra base hits.
And here she is, Megan Grant, in a run-producing opportunity. A world-class level talent and an absolute gamer. Takes the first 2 pitches outside, 2-0.
Likely not going to see much to hit here with first base open.
42 home runs, the single season record, and it wasn't really that close. Broke it by 5. Johnson lets that leak a little closer to the plate, but still 3-0, and it's going to be Tori Vidalis very likely getting an opportunity with just 1 out and the bases loaded. There's strike 1.
That's the thing about her senior year. Not only did she have those 42 home runs, it was the amount of walks that she took as well.
Takes strike 2. So Johnson says, hold on a minute.
76 walks that Megan Grant had her senior year at UCLA. And Maya Johnson getting a little bit of the edge there, getting some calls.
3-2. Grant swings through it. Big second out for Maya Johnson.
Well, what a turn of events in that at bat. And it was the 3-0 pitch that looked like, honestly, she was just trying to pitch around her and put her at first base, but she got the call and then got back into the count to get the strikeout. Home run hitter up at the plate, goes to the curveball and 3 pitches in a row and strikes her out. That's a big out.
We saw a very similar situation in Chicago with Maya Johnson. There's a base empty, and she fell behind one of their big hitters. And you think, okay, she's going to let him on, and she ended up coming back, getting out in that at bat as well. She is just fearless. Still a big opportunity for Portland, even though there's 2 outs. Tori takes upstairs 1-1. We will talk to Tori Vidalis live in the field next inning. Mic'd up for us this evening. Of course, she's excellent because she's also doubles as an analyst for ESPN. Pops this up on the infield. It's kind of an awkward spot, but Wiz chases it down on the third base line.
Every single person was just saying how excited they were for softball to come to Portland. Yes, Sam! Like that spot. And just so much love. They're giving us recommendations. We actually went to a little burger place, a little mom and pop shop that was recommended to us yesterday. So they've been very welcoming. Yeah, Sam.
Sydney Romero leads off the inning, gets away, and we get our first look at kind of the temporary net behind the backstop.
Yeah, Sid. Here we go, with you here.
Tori, what's it been like to create a new culture with this expansion team, with you being a veteran and being such a big part of leading the way?
Nice! I think it's been really fun. I think for me, you know, being on the Talons last year, sorry, I'm having a little ear, it's back in. Okay, so being on the Talons last year and having a lot of success, you know, we took a lot of those things that worked really well for us and brought it this way. And knowing, yes, Sam! Knowing that this is kind of the start, the foundation for what the rest of the team is going to be for the rest of the time. So I think being really intentional about building the culture and making sure it's a place where everybody feels like they can be themselves, their voices are heard. See you! And really doing it together. Yeah, Sam. Hey, win a pitch right here. Yeah, 2-1. But it's been so fun. We have a lot of young ones on our team, and really Sis and I have been the kind of go-to voices and leaders. Yeah, take your time. And it's been fun getting to learn from them as well. I think you always hear about veterans teaching the rookies, but the rookies teach us quite a bit as well. Yeah, Sam.
3-2 from Landry.
Yeah, stick!
Just popped out of the glove, and it will likely go down as an infield single for Sydney
right
Romero to lead off the third.
Two. I'm going to be back here. You got my front. Yeah. Hey, with her. Yeah. Yep.
Tori, curious, take us back to the expansion draft. You probably somewhat expected to hear your name called. What was your reaction when you did hear it called, and kind of what was the communication like with this team from that point forward?
I feel like I'm broadcasting again. I just paused for the pitch.
It's fantastic. You're doing great.
I was going to say that. If you didn't say it, I was going to say it.
Oh, my goodness. Well, first, it was really exciting hearing that Jamie Lowprice was going to be our GM this year. Obviously, the Aggie ties have known her a long time, known Amanda a long time, so it's kind of cool to see Aggies littered around the league in different ways, right? We got Emily Kennedy. Now I get a chance to play with Kennedy Powell, another Aggie. Of course, Amanda in the booth, and now Jamie as a GM, kind of putting her Aggie fingerprints over everything. But for me, it was really exciting knowing that I've already built that trust. Yes! Nice job. And also the fact that Jamie wanted me, right? The first thing she told me was like, of course I'm going to pick you. Like, I want someone like you to lead this team. And it meant a lot to me knowing that she's seen me throughout my career. I mean, I've got pictures of Jamie and I at Good Sam Super Regionals in 2018 in Gainesville. I've got pictures with her in my Mexico jersey, and now I have pictures of her with her in my Cascade jersey. So she's been along for the entire journey, and I'm so happy we finally met up and we're on the same team.
2-2 count to Sydney Sherrill.
See you. Yes.
Gets away from Landry
yes,
a little bit. Full count.
Hey, we got you right here. Win one, win one. Let us work. Yeah, Kinley. Yes.
Hard hit, scooped up by Powell. Great play over at third for the first out.
That's KP.
Little roar of the crowd for that defensive web
Great
jab
job,
over
Kennedy.
at third base. 68 miles
that
an
baby.
hour
Way
off
to
the
win
bat.
that. Yeah,
She
Sam.
gets on a short hop. How did Kennedy Powell scoop that up to her forehand? What a great play. And maybe a chance to turn two, Tori. You wanted it over there at first base, didn't you, to make that turn and maybe see if you could make a double play?
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to yell. It's loud here, though. A lot of fans. We got to be super loud. But Sis did a great job of making sure we could get one. Be sure that one out, lead out as well. Yeah, Sam. Come on.
0-1 to Delaney Wiz. Swing and a miss.
Tori, how would you describe this pitching staff on the Cascade that you get to play defense back behind? The best pitching staff up to this point in the league so far.
Honestly, I tell them every day to take a shower because they're just so nasty, you know? They're just spinning that ball, it's dancing. A lot of swings and misses. Yeah, Sid. Yeah, Sam. But I think each of them bring, you know, their own spunk, their own personality along with that. And that was a big part of spring training, you know, learning what each pitcher likes, what fires them up. Sam likes... Yes! Good job! Big out. Nice job! Sam really likes eye contact. Oh, wait. Got to get my out celebrations, you know. Kelly is very, like, quiet, just going right at hitters. Kenzie, she's pretty fun and spunky on the mound, honestly. See you, Sam. But it's been fun. Like, when you got a great pitching staff, you love to be on defense. Yeah, Sam.
Ball one to Bubba Nichols Camarena with 2 outs and 1 on.
Yeah, 2-1. Yeah, 2-1.
All right, Tori, you know there's 2 outs, so the inning could end at any time, but what's it like to be on the same field with Coach Evans over there coaching third base? You played for her at Texas A&M, got recruited by her. To see her, what's it like on the same pro field?
It's so fun. Honestly, it makes me feel like a kid again. I played some of my best softball around her, in front of her. And even though she's got a different color on, I can kind of look over there and feel a little bit of comfort seeing her in her helmet, maybe blue, but it's a little comfort away from home and knowing that, see you, like that spot. And knowing that she knows everything about me too. So I'm like, she's probably giving them some information. I'm like, what are you telling them, Coach? What do you tell me too? I want to know. Yeah, Sam.
3-1 to Bubba.
Come on.
Ground ball. Cahalan
Yes.
flips to second.
Great
That'll
job.
do. Tori, you're
Nice.
pretty good at this. You should try TV sometime.
You know,
Tori Vidalis live in the field. I always appreciate the time. 2-0 Portland. Actually, it's going to be a 9:30 Pacific start. So grab your coffee.
How about this crowd? We just showed that wide shot of all of these fans. I think there's over 3,000 people here for the home opener. It's just unbelievable. The roar of the crowd, trying to feel out this Cascade team that's new. What are the chants? What do we do, you know, for an out or for a strikeout? How do we work this together? Everybody trying to figure it out and build the culture here in Portland.
And they were doing it before the game, and one of the cool ones was when they hit a home run and step on home plate, the crowd is supposed to go whoosh.
Oh, that's a good one.
Outside to Sydney Stewart. 4-5-6 here in the inning, due up for Portland. Sydney Stewart off to a little bit of a slow start in a rookie campaign, but she's got a chance to be a really good one. Had an excellent 2 years at Arizona after starting her career at Washington. Was a back-to-back All-American, though, for the Wildcats. First team this year. Stewart lifts this to center. Brady back, and oh my goodness, she pulled it in. What a catch from Maya Brady. And it just looked easy to her.
Effortless. Hitting looks effortless for Maya Brady, and defense looks effortless. Such a good read over the shoulder. She had one off the bat of Corby Otis that beat her, and I guarantee she said, not going to happen to me again. Maya Brady out there patrolling center field.
She is out of this world. We talked about Megan Grant's home run that went 313 feet and set an AUSL record. Well, Maya Brady hit one 310 feet in Rosemont a few days ago. And then, of course, what she can do in center field.
You know, too, I was talking to Kirk Walker, the general manager of the Spark, before the game about Maya Brady and her hot start. And so often, you know, these athletes have to figure out when they're not coming from the college game how to prepare for a season. And it's different than the rookies who are just coming fresh off of the college season. They just play 60, 65 games and they roll right into the AUSL season. But it's different for a second-year pro or a 10-year pro where they're having to figure out when to start getting ready and prepare themselves for the professional season. So to see the way that Maya Brady has started this season after not coming from UCLA in her college season, but preparing on her own, speaks volumes about the type of hard worker that she is and the athlete that she is, because she has come out the gate absolutely on fire.
And you'll hear all kinds of things, too, as far as what that prep looks like. Some almost never take a break. They go right into training from the day the season ends. Others might take a few months off, and then they start to ramp it up as the year goes on and the season gets closer. Sierra Sacco Ferry right back to Johnson, who casually grabs it and retires her. There's 2 outs.
Well, one thing that Kirk Walker told me, and when I asked Maya Brady about her preparation on the field when they were hitting BP before the game, she looked at Kirk and pointed at him. He was standing just behind her, and she said, I was hitting off of this guy. So Kirk Walker can pitch to Maya Brady at the field at UCLA and help prepare her. That's a general manager for the Spark. Help prepare her for this season and got her ready all the way back in February. They were putting in the work for June.
That is something Kenley Cahalan will have to figure out come next year. She's a rookie out of Florida and the everyday shortstop for the Cascade right now. She was the last pick in the college draft, number 17 overall. It's another one offensively off to a slow start, but could really change things for them from a run-producing standpoint.
Well, it's not just the hitting and the BP and the softball part of things that these athletes have to prepare for once they're no longer coming from the rookie season, like these guys on your screen. But the strength and conditioning side of things, being able to hit the weight room by yourself, being able to come up with workouts, being able to push yourself as if you're still preparing with the team, even though you're preparing as an individually for your team for the season.
Just outside, 3-2 from Johnson to Cahalan. We talked to the Cascades general manager, Jamie Loprise, pregame, and she just talked about how much fun this group has been to be around, and mentioned Cahalan, said she is just a goofball, full of energy.
Yeah, her and Megan Grant have become really friendly. So Kinley Cahalan coming from Florida, Megan Grant coming from UCLA, and when you talk to Kinley Cahalan, she has a big Alabama accent. And Megan Grant, of course, coming from the West Coast in California, not going to have that accent like Kinley Cahalan. Makes for a fun pairing.
Cahalan pops it up foul territory. Cheryl going over. Nice grab. Fighting the sun a little bit that has peaked out here, and that'll do it. A 1-2-3 inning for Maya Johnson.
Glasses, and that actually started back in high school. She didn't grow up playing in them, but on a whim, she wore them one day and pitched a perfect game, and she hasn't played a game without them since. But she told me this is far past being a simple superstition. It has become part of her purpose out there in the circle. She told me she gets a lot of DMs from young girls and even their parents of players thanking her for inspiring them to be more confident and playing in their own glasses. And she told me it's crazy how often sports serve a bigger purpose than just wins and losses.
Sam Landry has such a big following. We talked about her senior year at Oklahoma. She really rose to stardom. I mean, you play for the University of Oklahoma, and you're just kind of on a different level, especially coming off of that 4-peat national championships that they won. And Sam Landry got a lot of attention, just played that 1 year at Oklahoma, but got all these fans following her and all these young girls like Anna's talking about, inspiring them to know it's okay for me to wear my glasses out on the softball field too. A lot of young girls feeling maybe embarrassed about that, but they look at Sam Landry, they look up to her wearing those glasses and think, you know what, I can do that too. I adore her, she inspires me, I'm going to do that as well.
Strike one to Jesse Warren after the flyout, so one away for Landry. Nobody on here in the top of the fourth. Last year, no home sites. We traveled around the country with the AUSL, so they kind of felt markets out. One of the stops was Sulphur, Louisiana, which is not far from where Sam Landry is from, in Mount Bellevue, Texas. And there was a huge Sam Landry fan base there. I just remember, felt like every night after we left the ballpark, Sam was surrounded by fans signing autographs.
And she has really good spin. I mean, she throws with good velocity too, 67, 68 miles an hour, but you'll really notice her ball manipulating and moving around the zone, especially that drop ball that just seems to whip in there down in the zone. And then she can go up like that with her rise ball. But the funny part about her drop ball this year, that's the pitch that she's using the most. In fact, it was her most used pitch last year and then also her senior year at Oklahoma. But she had told me that drop ball was a pitch that she absolutely did not like when she was at Louisiana. And her then head coach, Jerry Glasgow, was trying to get her to throw it. Jerry Glasgow, now the head coach at Texas Tech. But she just had little to no belief in that pitch, didn't feel like she could control it. And then her junior year, she started to throw it a little bit more, but then at Oklahoma, it was working with Jen Rocha and her building even more confidence behind that pitch to where now it is her best pitch that she throws.
Warren fights that pitch off up in the zone in a 2-2 count. Jen Rocha, one of the pitching whisperers, one of the best in the business, the pitching coach at Oklahoma.
Sam Landry even told me, you know, it feels good to trust a pitch that I've hated my entire life. That is the pitch that she goes to the most, is the pitch that she hated her entire life now. And as a story of a pitcher, I mean, there's always that one pitch that you just don't like throwing, or you feel like you can't ever get or master, and you work on it and work on it and work on it until finally it comes around, and now it is her best out pitch.
3-2, little off speed. This is tapped out into right field. A sliding grab by Corby Otis, and there's 2 outs. Saturday on ESPN, the AUSL season rolls on. It's the Carolina Blaze facing off against the Chicago Bandits at noon Eastern. You can also stream it on the ESPN app. Eric Collins and Kenzie Fowler will bring that one to you. Blaze off to a great start. Bandits heating up. They've won 3 straight.
There's that drop ball. Chucky can paint both sides of the corner with that pitch. And to me, you can just see that over the top spin. That's what a drop ball has, over the top spin, and it tumbles down. And there's something about the way that she throws it outside to right-handed hitters that, I don't know, it's just like chef's kiss. It's just so perfect because it almost goes down and it kind of breaks away from them. But that drop ball, here it's coming again.
1-1. Just outside.
Well, a little bit too low, but I just want to give you a heads up because we actually get the pitch calls up here in the booth with the pitch comm, so we can take a look at the pitch that's coming before it actually leaves the hand. So I just want to give the viewer a little heads up that another drop ball was coming. I don't do it too often. Don't want to give too much away.
That was the changeup that catches the top of the zone. 2-2 count. What pitch was it for you? The frustrating.
The changeup for me. And also, not a great rise ball, but definitely the changeup just overall. Frustration city. And she has a fantastic changeup. You know, that's when she's tunneling that drop ball and her changeup together. Tunneling, meaning it's coming or looking the same out of her hand to a hitter, except one comes in at 68 and then one floats in at 58. Completely different look out of the hand.
Swing and a miss. Got Lee reaching. Things off Kennedy Powell against Maya Johnson. Foul ball.
Jamie, what did you hear from the fans, maybe at the fan event or over the past couple of months, that you just knew that they were going to be into this, or what were they most looking forward to? What did you hear from the fans about having a professional softball team here?
They were just excited. They couldn't wait. Even back in January when the team was announced, we were the first team to come, and within 48 hours, we had a bunch of fans and press, and everybody's just been so excited to finally get to meet the players and watch professional softball here.
One out for now Sis Bates, the second baseman. Jamie, you did something really cool. We saw a video with Sydney Stewart when she got announced as a first-team All-American in a team meeting. You gave her a rose, and you've told us that story, but I want you to tell the fans about the meaning behind that.
I was working on my bachelorette moments. No. Yeah, it's something that we embraced. We had a team meeting the very first night at spring training, and one of the things that we talked about is this is the Rose City, and so how could we incorporate that into things that we do? So after every practice, after every game, we give roses for great plays, great things, great teammates, all positives, and then we give thorns for opportunities to be better. And so we wanted to recognize our All-Americans with roses. So we went out, and our team operations director, he went and bought roses, and so we thought it would be pretty fun to start that tradition.
Sis is at the plate now, and she's such a big piece of your culture and of your team. What has it been like for you to be closer to her on a team setting with Sis Bates?
I love Sis Bates. I mean, she's just a great human being. Shout out to her mom, who is here today, which is so cool. But our team has taken on the personality of Sis Bates, and I couldn't have asked anything more for her leadership, just her professionalism, the way that she goes to work every day. I thought she'd be such a great resource for these young players that we have. Both her and Tori Vidalis were really, really important pieces. I knew that we were going to be young, and so getting those two, but bringing Sis back to the Pacific Northwest. I mean, Sis has fans everywhere, but to get her back here was really, really special.
Sis takes outside, 2-2 count with one out. Jamie, what's your favorite part of this? What have you enjoyed the most? You've been around the game for so long at every level and so many different roles, but this role specifically, what do you enjoy most?
I mean, there's so many things. I mean, I think big picture is just being a part of it, being a part of professional softball and the growth and what Athletes Unlimited is doing, and the leadership of Kim Eng and just the team around her. I just saw Vanessa Tavares with partnerships, and just the work and the resources that have been put into AU to just play a little tiny bit of that has been really special. But I also love watching BP. It's so fun.
Sis flies out, and there's two away.
Jamie, how did you want to build your roster and build your team as you built it from scratch?
Pitching, and I think I said that at the draft, and we really went pitching at the core. Our first two picks in expansion, our first pick in allocation. You probably see that through the first 6 games too. And I like the youthfulness, and I also wanted players that embrace the growth here. That would be great in this Portland community, and that's culture. Amanda, as we played together and at A&M, and how important culture at the foundation was. And I talked. The first thing was to approach. We obviously want to compete for championships, but we want to be in this for the long run for professional softball, and to have players that would embrace that.
Well, we are so happy you've joined the league, Jamie, and congrats on the early success. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. It's a little stressful, I'm not going to lie. Need more gray hairs.
Try and kick back and enjoy yourself the rest of the night.
I will try. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
It's a good thing about being a broadcaster and being a fan of the game is it's a little bit less stressful when it doesn't really matter to us who wins and loses, but if you're a GM, a coach, a player, a fan of that specific team, you are all in for them, living and breathing on every single pitch. And also, Cascade have played a lot of close games. All 3 of their games last weekend against the Talons were decided by 2 runs or less, and it came down until the end. And I have a feeling that's how a lot of Cascade's games are going to go, with their great pitching and a little bit of a lack of offense right now.
0-2 count for Kendra Falby. Drove in one of the 2 runs so far for Portland. Part of the stress, too, you think about Jamie Lopez, all these GMs, such big names, such winners when they played or when they coached, and so there's some bragging rights on the line when you're in the room with all these Hall of Famers.
It's a who's who list that's involved in this AUSL league at every level, from the head coaches to the admin to the advisory board to the general managers on that list that you see, and a lot of great minds all working together for the best of the league, wanting the best. I mean, of course, they want to win. They're competitive, but at the end of the day, they want this league to succeed, and they're all in it together.
Jamie Loprise went to 2 Women's College World Series, played with you at Texas A&M. Of course, Joe Evans, the coach of those teams who we talked about earlier with Tori Vidalis. And then on the other side, Kirk Walker, who was a longtime member of the UCLA staff. He's seen some national championships in his time. Maya Johnson wants a new ball in this 2-2 count. Falby has been a pest at the plate in this at-bat. Johnson has retired 7 in a row. Slow roller right side, and Haley Lee's going to hope this goes foul. It will not. Perfectly placed by Falby.
Breaking up that streak of 7 in a row, and finally somebody reaching. The last person that reached was Corby Otis with that double to center field, but a bit of a mishit on a changeup turns into a base hit for Kendra Falby. Did it hit her out of the box?
They just swinging bunt single down the first base line. She actually had stepped out of the box when she made contact with the ball.
Which is going to turn into an out. The umpire calls it. Your foot is out of the box whenever the ball hits your bat on contact, then and the umpire has to call it. Sometimes the slappers can get away from it or get away with it. They don't call it, but home plate umpire Alex Sleeve caught that one and called her out.
KK Madry leads off the inning and falls behind Sam Landry. 0-2 in the count. We are in the 5th frame alongside Amanda Scarborough and Anna Camden down on the field. I'm Chucky Kempf. Jill Gossard-Cook producing tonight. Aaron Angel directing this historic night of professional softball, the inaugural home opener for the Portland Cascade in front of 3,000 plus fans and one of the best professional women's sports cities in, I would say, the country, but the world.
Yeah, the world.
Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 5 for Landry.
Just gotten more and more comfortable as this game has gone on, and this is a drop ball. It stays up a little bit, but sometimes this is so effective. I think it still fools the hitter. It's still up in the zone, has that over-the-top rotation, and they're expecting something a little bit more down. It's almost like, and it's weird to say, but a drop ball that's up in the zone for her. It's another one there that's more low, where she hangs on to it a little too much, and then it ends up more up in the zone. So 5 strikeouts, 5 ground outs. It's pretty much the Landry MO right there. Outs on the ground and some strikeouts.
3rd time through as Maya Brady takes that pitch for strike 1. 1-1 count. Brady is 1 for 2. Doubled as the first batter of the game. And the Spark ended up stranding the bases loaded in that inning. Ground ball right side. Vidalis charging and races to first to beat Brady. 2 outs.
She doesn't want to go away from first base because she thinks that she beat the foot race with Tori Vidalis because she bobbled that. And again, we talked about this with the error that Kenley Cahalan made at shortstop, or the bobble that she made at shortstop. And
OKC is challenged. Oh, first base.
And they're going to challenge that play at first base, but speed really makes a difference. Tori Vidalis is thinking about how quickly she has to get that ball and then get to first base, and you get ahead of yourself as a defender. Ends up bobbling a little bit and then trying to beat her in a foot race. I think Tori Vidalis got her foot just in there. Ooh.
The call on the field is confirmed. The runner's out. First for OKC. They have 1 remaining.
Good eyes by first base umpire Jim Cooper over there. And there's 2 away. It's a big stretch that Landry's on right now. Last base runner was an infield single by Sydney Romero to lead off the 3rd inning. You're in a spot, though, if you keep rolling like this, you won't have to see the top of this order again. Maya Brady's night might be done at the plate.
Yeah, we've seen both pitchers just settle in beautifully into this game, being able to make some adjustments, feel the nerves in front of this great electric crowd. and pitch their game. I mean, Maya Johnson, a rookie, Sam Landry, just a second-year pro. And I was thinking about that before the game with the commissioner, Kim Ng, just the load of talent from last year's rookie class and this year's rookie class that is influxed into this league to make it so strong.
Romero rips this into right center field. She's going to have extra bases with 2 outs. The hot bat of Sydney Romero continues. Another 2-hit night, and that is now 4 consecutive games with multiple hits.
Does such a good job of just staying on this drop ball that's down and in. Somehow she keeps her barrel on the inner half of that ball. It's an inside drop ball and kind of an inside out swing that she just shoots it to right center field, and quickly she's in scoring position.
Sets up Sydney Sherrill, who sits on the off speed. This is lofted into shallow center where Cahalan retreats to make the catch. Landry gets up a 2-out double and then immediately retires Sherrill.
Highly respected head coach in the college game and now the pro game, and has played and won a ton of games as a player.
National champion at UCLA in 2003 alongside one of her best friends, Natasha Watley. And she will see the top of her order here in the bottom of the 5th. Can they find some insurance against Maya Johnson, who has settled in? Gave up the 2 runs back in the bottom of the 2nd inning. That has bounced in. Johnson lost that one in her motion.
Yeah, Maya Johnson has taken on so much for the Spark team. This is a all-rookie pitching staff that the Oklahoma City Spark are relying on right now, with several of their pitchers waiting for them to come back from the Japan Professional League. That'll be soon.
4-pitch walk to Corby Otis to lead off the 5th and set the table for Megan Grant. Megan Grant is 0 for 2 tonight. Takes ball 1.
Wouldn't surprise me if she comes in to this at bat looking for the outside corner, and Delaney Way is going to go out and talk to the rookie here, understanding right now it's a tight game, where we're at in this game, who's up at the plate, and with the leadoff walk followed by another ball that really missed the mark there with her curveball. She wants to make sure that Maya Johnson is in a good headspace to face Megan Grant, because one pitch can double this lead for the Cascade.
Ruby Malin and Peja Gould out in the bullpen for Oklahoma City, staying loose. 2 more rookies as Grant takes strike 1. 1-1 count.
Okay, Maya Johnson's going to continue to work that outside corner. She struck her out on a curveball in her last at bat, and Megan Grant has serious pull side power.
Rips this right at Harper, and it's not going to be a double play because Lee was standing on the safety bag. So just 1 out in the inning instead of 2.
And Amari Harper is perfectly positioned more up the middle of the field and just plays catch with Megan Grant. That was 80 miles an hour off the bat. Megan Grant can't hit it much harder. A low line drive that almost turns into a double play, but safe at first.
For those of you wondering on that rule, the safety bag is essentially not there unless there is a runner running down the first baseline. Otis goes, picked up by Romero. What a play at shortstop to catch Otis stealing.
And Corby Otis kind of hesitated about, 2/3 of the way to second base. Looked like she looked up and slowed her pace down. Probably would have been out anyway, because Delaney Wiz and Sid Romero made a great pick there to be able to get her out, but just a weird hesitation by Otis.
Two outs, nobody on for Tori Vidalis. Tori's first swing of the night was actually ruled a single, so 1 for 2. Popped up on the third baseline to Delaney Wiz her last time at the plate. Now a 2-2 count.
She'll take that extra hit. But it's been a slow start entering this game. 2 for 18, so that'll be her third hit of the season. Take it any way you can.
The other two came in the opening series. She was 0 for 10 with a strikeout in the Utah series. This is blasted by Vidalis, and for the first time in Cascade history, it's a home run in their home ballpark. And it's Tori Vidalis coming alive for her first of the season.
Slow start for the vet, but you know that she's capable of this. Knew it. Little bat toss to the side, but went up and got that rise ball. That was pretty much at her eyes, and she got on top of it. A line drive over the left field wall for Tori Vidalis, and an additional run to the Portland Cascade lead.
Your first words in the dugout were, "I needed that." How good did that home run feel in front of this home crowd?
Felt amazing, especially after kind of running ourselves out of that inning. It was really important that we put another run up there for Sam. She's throwing a hell of a game, so just trying to have her back and also remember who we are in the process.
I love it. Thanks, Tori.
Thank you.
Back to you, Chucky.
TV Tori on the board, her first home run of the season. And it forces a pitching change. So Sydney Stewart at the plate with Ruby Malin, the rookie out of Oklahoma State, in the circle, making her fourth professional appearance, 2 starts, and now 2 relief outings. Through 5 1/3, it's the strikeout numbers that stand out for Ruby, 7 of them, but goes in and hits Sydney Stewart.
You heard Tori mention it against this offense, especially, who has been the most powerful, quick-scoring, electric offense to this point in the season with the spark. That extra run matters. And I mean, Tori could be a coach, she could be a broadcaster, all the things with the way that she talked about running themselves out of the inning. Corbiotis gets caught stealing, and Megan Grant hit that one on the line too with nothing to show for it. But Tori Vidalis, that was a big swing in this game. The Spark offense is not going to stay down, I don't think, for the rest of this game in the last 2 innings.
First pitch swinging for Sierra Sacco Ferry. That is strike 1 on the foul ball. 0 for 2 tonight. This inning started with a 4-pitch walk to Corbiotis, and Megan Grant hit a ball 80 miles per hour, but it went right at the second baseman, Amari Harper. And then Otis was caught stealing, and Tori mentioned it, kind of ran into an out, but their opportunity looked like it was gone. Ball 1 outside from Malin. Notice up high, Sacco Ferry didn't even flinch, and Stewart is on second. See Delaney Wiz going to her wrist there, the pitch comm device to call the pitches.
Ruby Malin's going to come in with her drop ball down in the zone, 68 to 70 miles an hour, and then she'll work up with her rise ball. She takes a few miles an hour off of that pitch for her rise ball, really spins it through the zone. So more 64, 65, and then she'll mix in a changeup every now and then. It'll be her number 3 pitch.
2-2, Sacco Ferry flares it out to left field, and Stewart will hold up at third base. Another 2-out base runner for the Cascade. Now Kenley Cahalan with runners on the corners and 2 away. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it back. She was hit by a pitch and scored the first run of this game. And popped out to third base her last time up. Didn't have an extra base hit this year yet, but had 17 doubles, 17 home runs, and 68 RBIs at Florida for Tim Walton this year. So we talk so much about the power of Megan Grant and Sydney Stewart, but Cahalan's right there. She can really drive the ball.
She has that pop, and her senior year was her best year of her college career. She started at Alabama and then transferred to Florida, but that senior year offensively was tops.
Alabama native from Trussville, Alabama. You mentioned it, 2 years at Alabama and then 2 at Florida. Ruby Malin, one that spent 2 years at Washington and then 2 at Oklahoma State. This is what the Cascade have done from a situational standpoint, and 3 for 7 with runners in scoring position. Good leadoff numbers as well in this game. Nice job to pick that by Delaney Wiz. We talked to Delaney the other day. Did not grow up catching. Got asked to in college even, and took it on. And now here she is as the everyday catcher because Kinsey Hansen-McKenzie is pregnant right now on the temporary inactive list. You ever catch?
I never caught, never wanted to catch. I'm good.
Yeah. What is it?
I'm good.
What is it about not wanting to?
Just, you know, the gear and just having to get all hot and sweaty and get hit by pitches and foul balls. You know, and I think it's just that general type of thing that kept me more in the circle.
The Texas native who played in College Station doesn't want to be hot and sweaty on the softball field.
That's additionally hot and sweaty when you have to put on all that gear. But I mean, major props to Delaney Wiz for taking on that role at UCLA, getting to learn from Kelly Inouye Perez, her head coach at UCLA, who was one of the all-time great catchers for UCLA. Getting to learn from one of the best how to do it, put into that role, and doing it here too.
2-2 just inside, full count to Cahalan.
It's a great at-bat by Cahalan, seeing a lot of pitches, making Ruby Malin work in this relief appearance, just trying to get this final out.
9th pitch of the AB coming. Ruby goes upstairs again, and another foul ball. Who wins the rookie battle? Another full count pitch coming. 10th of the at-bat. And Cahalan walks. And it looks like Portland is going to make a substitution. It will not be Kennedy Powell coming to the plate. It will be Allie Newland. 3rd-year pro from the state of Georgia, went to LSU, and gets a big chance here. She's 1 for 4 at the plate. This is just her 4th game played this year. Newland played 8 games last year between the Volts and the Blaze out of the reserve athlete pool, but she's a full-time member of the Portland Cascade, picked in the 5th round of the allocation draft. She actually had some big swings when she was a member of the Blaze briefly last year. Joined them in Rosemont, Illinois at one point. Takes strike one, 1-1 count.
That's a good pitcher's pitch right there for Ruby Malin. They get the call, drop ball, bottom of the zone, catches a little bit of the corner. If she throws her drop balls there, it's going to be tough for Newland. Newland's going to be looking for a drop ball a little bit more up and get on time with it.
Ruby ahead 1-2 in the count. A chance to strand the bases loaded. Maybe even after that Vidalis home run in this inning, get a little momentum for these OKC bats. Newland takes just outside. A lot of Oklahoma representation on the field for Oklahoma City. Malin, one of them, out of Oklahoma State. And got her looking. Newland takes strike 3, and they strand the bases loaded.
A lot of those fans, because there were, I don't know, over 10,000 fans there, I would think. Hope a lot of them come and support this team.
Sam Landry is out for her 6th inning of work against one of the best offenses in the AUSL. Oklahoma City scored at least 5 runs in each of their first 4 games this year. They were 3-1 in those 4 games, but they've been held to 3-4 in the last 2 and haven't scored in this one.
It is this buzzsaw of a Cascade pitching staff, and you know, they gave up a lot of runs in that first series against the Blaze. In fact, they gave up 19 runs to the Blaze in the 3 games that they faced them. But what a rebound and adjustment to then face the Talons in Utah and only gave up 4 runs in 3 games to the Talons. Best ERA in the league.
Well, if you would have told the Cascade they would only score 8 runs in Utah, they might not have thought things went as well, but they outscored the Talons 8-3 in that sweep. 2-2 count to Delaney Wiz. Wiz rips it back up the middle, continuing her hot start to the season. We had a visitor during the commercial break. Jess Mendoza stopped by. She was in the building throughout the first pitch.
Yeah, she did a great job. Big supporter of this Portland Cascade team. She is a resident Oregonian. Is that?
I think so. That's what you told me.
She lives in Oregon.
AUSL advisor. She's been a part of it really since day one.
Yeah, very dedicated and invested to see the success of this league, and particularly this location because she just lives down the road, a few hours away.
Bubba Nichols-Camarena out to center field. Kendra Falby, the 2-time Gold Glove winner, makes the catch on the 100th pitch that Sam Landry has thrown tonight. And still the shutout. 58 of the 100 pitches have gone for strikes.
And I think the biggest change for the Cascade pitching staff came with Sam Landry from that first series to the second series, and just her being able to recognize that she was not her best in that first series against the Blaze and come out and pitch differently in that game 1 against the Talons. She pitched a complete game, didn't walk anybody, had this attack mentality in the circle that I think, you know, just like a leadoff hitter sets a tone for the offense, a leadoff pitcher in a series, starting game 1 sets a tone for the pitchers.
Ground ball right side, chance for 2. Quick flip, Cahalan fires to first. It's a double play. The defense backing up Sam Landry.
These fans to fall in love with their team, maybe fall in love with softball. Maybe some of them are here for the first time. We hear about that so often, that fans watch softball on TV or in person for the first time, and they're absolutely hooked. That's why this sport is growing like crazy at every level, the professional level, the college level, and even Little League softball whenever it's on TV. This sport is ascending quickly.
2-0 count now to Sis Bates. It is 8-9-1 for the Cascade for what they hope is the last time that they come to the plate this evening. Have we talked about how beautiful it is here in Hillsboro, Oregon, by the way? 77 degrees, light breeze tonight. This is an awesome facility. This is Hillsboro Ballpark. Just behind us, really next door, is another fantastic stadium where the Hillsboro Hops play. That's the high A affiliate of the Arizona Diamondbacks. That's another one that draws really well. You can see kind of the top of that stadium. And then there's some other kind of multi-purpose fields all around us. I saw football, softball, baseball. A little hotbed for sports here in Hillsboro. Two-two to Sis Bates. Another foul ball.
The apparel store has been looking busy. I can see it just outside of our booth. You can go to the Sephora Braid Bar and get your hair braided. I see some type of food truck down the way. Acai bowls.
Hard hit ground ball by Bates, but Harper retires her one out. Well, maybe you can shop a little bit tomorrow when we come back for Game 2. OKC in Portland. That one set for a first pitch at 9 Eastern on ESPN2 and the ESPN app.
No sales tax and you want me to shop? Okay, I'm in. You talked me into it. I'm down.
It was well noted that the first thing that I'm talking about this magnificent facility and this field and these fans, and you said, yeah, I see the shopping tent down there. It's right there.
Tent. I always notice it because the gear is so good for each of these teams, and the merchandise area is bigger now at each of these home fields that we have.
I'm going to guess that Sam Landry shirt we saw earlier is sold out.
Yeah. Yes.
And if it wasn't, after this performance, it will be. Oklahoma City's got to be thinking, what did we do? This schedule, they opened at home against Texas, but then an 8-game road trip that they are in the middle of right now. So 2 more here in Portland, and then they go to Utah, so they stay out west before they finally get back home on June 27th against the Chicago Bandits. And they'll have back-to-back 2-game series. They'll play the Bandits and the Blaze.
Well, this pitching staff eventually for the Spark will look a little bit different when they get some veteran arms back on their staff. I'm saying Elena Votter, Maddie Penta, and Jalen Ford. So 3 pitchers will come in after pitching in Japan and add to this pitching staff. Remember, all rookies. All 5 of these pitchers are rookies, just trying to figure it out quickly. They just finished their college careers a couple of weeks ago, and then they turn back around and are having to face some of the best hitters in the world as a professional softball player after a grind of a college season that started in February.
Falby fights another pitch off in a 2-2 count. And the emotion that goes into that, too, you think of Ruby Malin, whose career came to an end in Supers. Same goes for Cassidy Curd at Duke when they went to Arkansas. Lindsey Grind in Oregon knocked out in regionals. So it's not just your season ending, but your college career. You spent so much time there with those teams. There's so much on the line and so much emotions in postseason softball. As she gets Falby swinging, 2 strikeouts for Ruby Malin. I mean, she has shown early in her career that she can still miss bats at this level.
Well, and I think that they like her in this relief position. She gets a strikeout here with her rise ball, gets Kendra Falby to chase that pitch up and away. But with the probable starters coming out for the Spark for this series, they went Maya Johnson, Cassidy Curd, and then Maya Johnson again actually for Game 3. And that tells me that they really like Ruby Malin in this relief role, maybe better than a starter. So I'd be interested maybe after the game tonight to look at her starter and relief splits in terms of ERA and how she's performed, because you can tell with the probable starters for this series that they like her in this relief role. And then for the Cascade, it went Sam Landry, Kelly Maxwell, the probable starter for tomorrow, and then Kenzie Brown, a rookie from Arizona State, who maybe is just off to the best pitching start out of anybody in the league besides her teammate, Sam Landry. But even then, I think Kenzie Brown might have everybody beat with the way she's throwing right now.
And this #1 pitching staff in the league in Portland is going to get better too, because their first pick, second overall in the expansion draft, was Carly Hoover, the longtime veteran out of LSU, and she is still finishing up in Japan right now. The expectation is that they will join them next series in Texas.
Well, and getting a veteran catcher too, and Mia Davidson, who will join the team as well. So right now, Sydney Stewart's been doing a tremendous job, and she's a rookie handling this stout, strong pitching staff and doing a great job. But it just is a little bit different, you know, when you have Mia Davidson or a veteran back behind the plate, and the Cascade will have to make some decisions once everybody gets back. Who are they going to start in the 3-game rotation? Who are they going to start back behind the plate? How are they going to get Sydney Stewart if she's not catching her bat into the lineup? There are decisions that all of these teams, when they get these players back, will have to make, because they've been playing without them for 2 weeks, and some players have been performing, and others, they're probably happy to get these new players back and get them into the everyday rotation.
2-2 pitch to Corby Otis. Bounced in 3-2. Also could take a little pressure off Sydney Stewart. Certainly a capable catcher. She's dealt with large pitching staffs, especially in her junior year at Arizona when they had 8 arms. But she has a huge bat, and so learning all these new pitchers, mainly that she's never worked with before, could help her settle in offensively when Davidson returns. You said it, Tariah Flowers, it's a big job to get some of these bats in there, because Megan Grant has been your DP for most of the season. So if Stewart's not catching, how do you get the bat in the lineup? Aren't you glad she gets to make that call?
Yes, I am very glad that I'm not the one making these decisions that you're going to have to make that starting lineup. But you're right, that pitching staff is just going to get even better with Carly Hoover coming back, another veteran who has years and years of professional experience. Corby Otis doing everything she can to find a way on here to get the bat and, or to give a chance to Megan Grant to hit in this inning, huh? What a bat by her.
Malin has faced 6 batters, and this is going to be pitch number 45 in the 9th of this at bat. She'll call time. Something else for these rookie pitchers to get used to. A little faster pitch clock. Instead of 20, it's just 15 in the pros. That is strike 3, and Otis knew it on the outside corner. Another K for Ruby Malin, her 3rd. Trying to give them some momentum. Can the league's best offense find it in the 7th?
Ballpark has gotten a runner to third base. Was in that first inning. Ever since then, she's had 3 up, 3 down innings. She had a 2-out double in the 5th inning, but she has been pitching an absolute gem and a shutout to this point.
Gets a swing and a miss to start the 7th inning. Jesse Warren, Haley Lee, KK Madry due up to try to keep the spark alive. Combined 0 for 5 with a walk in the 7, 8, 9 spots of the order. Landry has only allowed the 4 hits all night long. Warren out to right field. Otis over to her left and makes the catch.
I mean, the way that this Cascade pitching staff has been pitching these last 4 games, I mean, Chucky, it's been lights out. You just don't really see this against these elite level hitters in the way that they've been able to limit any type of damage. Their starting pitchers going deep into games, throwing complete games. They're on a roll.
First pitch ball to Haley Lee. One 0 to Lee, takes strike 1. No, ball 2. I think I heard somebody from the crowd yell strike. They have been locked in since the first pitch, lined up about 2.5 hours before the game, and by the time they opened the gates, the line was about a quarter of a mile long or longer.
And none of them have left. You know, some people try to sneak out early. I have not seen one seat open up from somebody leave early. Because you want to see history, right? Like, you want to get behind this team as Sam Landry just misses there, not getting a couple of these calls, as Haley Lee has had some great takes, but they want to see the first win of their home team. They want to witness it, and Sam Landry is 2 outs away.
Well, off speed, Lee fouls it off. Don't forget, Saturday on ESPN, the AUSL rolls on with the Carolina Blaze facing off against the Chicago Bandits at noon Eastern. You can stream it anytime on the ESPN app. Chicago, maybe the second hottest team in the league behind the Cascade. They've now won 3 in a row, 2 of those coming against the Spark, as Haley Lee keeps it going with a 1-out walk.
Well, that's big, because that means that unless they turn a double play, which they have only turned 1 all year, and that was in this game, that Maya Brady will come up to the plate with runners on.
Couple changes coming for the Spark. It's going to be a runner over at first, which is Billy Andrews, and a pinch hitter at the plate, the rookie out of Arizona, Grace Jenkins. Sam Landry only went 2 2/3 in her opening day start against the Blaze. Gave up 6 hits, 2 walks, and 2 earned runs. She delivers strike 1, but how has she responded? Trying to go for back-to-back complete games, plus a save sandwich in between those 2 against the Talons. Slow roller back to Landry, has to take the out at first, and the Spark are now 0 for 13 with runners on base. Sam Landry putting together a Rose-worthy performance for Portland.
Well, this is not going to be an easy out with Maya Brady in the way that she has started this season. You know, every time she steps in the box, she's 1 swing away from hitting a home run and getting the Spark within a run of tying up this game.
Brady out in front, 1-1 count. It's number 1 versus number 2 in the expansion draft. Brady swinging, Landry snags it to first, and Sam Landry dominates in the inaugural home opener for the Portland Cascade.